friends and neighbors at Charter Bank.
The service is excellent, the local staff is professional, and customers are treated as human beings in Waukee.
As a retired banker, I know and appreciate the advantages that community banks have over the large impersonal banks. Thanks for everything you have done for us in Johnston.
We started at Charter Bank when we moved to Grimes, and we thoroughly enjoy your services.
I've been waiting 18 years for Charter Bank to come to Ankeny, ever since the bank opened in Johnston.
Chart your success with Charter Bank in Johnston, Grimes, Waukee, and Ankeny. Come bank with your friends and neighbors at
evening, folks, and welcome to Dallas Center Grimes, the Meadows. I'm Jay Nelson.
I'm Angie Bodette.
And we're here to watch some ladies high school wrestling tonight between the Dallas Center Grimes Mustangs, the Perry Jayettes, and the Clarke of Osceola Indians. We have an abbreviated lineup. It looks like we've got some open weights tonight. The injury bug has caught a few of the teams. We have one young lady who is from a shared program participating in her senior night at the school that she attends. So we've got a few anticipated matchups that we're looking forward to watching here. But what are your opinions of the girls' season so far?
So far, I feel like it's been a very exciting season. Definitely, if DCG and Perry and Clarke all had full rosters, I mean, this would really probably be the night to come and watch. All of them have had really successful seasons so far, and it's going to be a really fun night for the girls. And I think it's just a positive atmosphere. I think we're showing younger kids that this is not a boys' sport. This is a female sport, and we're rocking it.
Absolutely. For those who know me, know I'm very opinionated on female wrestling. I believe it single-handedly saved the Olympic wrestling movement. And so participation has absolutely skyrocketed in the last 5 years. The state of Iowa just recently sanctioned, an official girls wrestling program, and that's what brings us here tonight. I'm excited. All the squads have had a lot of success this year. Perry is fresh off a tournament victory where they hosted their own home tournament. Dallas Center had a successful Saturday over in Waukee Northwest.
Yeah, it took second place, tied with Ames, but there was some really tough competition going on Saturday. It was not easy. There were a lot of battles.
We're just about to get underway. We're going to do the announcing here of the squads.
And now here are tonight's starting lineups. At 100 pounds, both DCG and Clarke are wrestling open, and for Perry, Haley Peterson. At 105 pounds, for Clarke, Maisie Davis. And for Dallas Center Grimes, will either be Leah Newell or Eva Gannon. At 110 pounds, both Perry and Clarke wrestle open. And for Dallas Center Grimes, Gracie Waddy. At 150 pounds, for Perry, Taylor Atwell. For Clarke, and for Dallas Center Grimes, Josephine Bond.
115, fully subscribed.
At 120 pounds, both Clarke and DCG will wrestle open. And for Perry, Gabrielle Gonzalez. At 125 pounds, for Clarke, Elle Shin. For Perry, Amy Aguirre. And for Dallas Center Grimes, it will either be Abby Osborne or Sabrina Mackey. At 130 pounds, Clarke will wrestle open. For Perry, Charity Nichols. And for Dallas Center Grimes, Asia Jean-Pierre. At 135 pounds, both Perry and Clarke will wrestle open. And for Dallas Center Grimes, Bella Mulder. At 140 pounds, Clarke will wrestle open. For Perry, Julie Malo. And for Dallas Center Grimes, it will either be Emily Hedman or Ella Forsythe. At 145 pounds, both Clarke and Perry will wrestle open. And for Dallas Center Grimes, it will either be Allie Vandermolen or Sarah Ritchie. Samuels. And for Dallas Center Grimes, Mackenzie Sizemore. At 170 pounds, Perry will wrestle open for Clarke, Janelle Salinas. And for Dallas Center Grimes, Maya Fritz. And at 190 pounds, both Perry and Clarke will wrestle open. And for Dallas Center Grimes, Holly Bonnet. The head coach of Clarke is Bill Peter. The head coach of Perry is Josh Moore. The assistant coaches for Dallas Center Grimes are Zach Boulder and Jason Weigler. And the head coach for the Mustangs is Bryce Gray. Our official this evening is Glenn Brand. At this time, will everyone please rise, move your hats, and face the flag for the singing of our national anthem, being performed this evening by Asia John Deere.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bursting in air, gave proof through the night that the flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave? I don't know what my I'll try.
Our first match this evening will be DCG.
Good evening. I hope you all enjoyed that wonderful rendition of the national anthem. She can sing, she can wrestle. There's probably not much that young Asia can't do.
No, she's also a talented artist, and she holds many weight class records here at the school as well. As Coach says, she might be pound for pound the strongest athlete in school.
Well,
So she is no one to mess with.
Absolutely. Team captains are going to meet here at the center first. We need to establish a coin flip, see who gets choice at what weight. Wrestlers are shaking hands. How many young ladies wrestle in the Dallas Center Grimes program?
I believe we have 17.
17.
We had the largest team last year with 24.
24. As we talked about earlier, the sport of wrestling is growing, and I seem to recall the numbers that are certified under the Girls Athletic Union is astounding, the total numbers. So I'm looking forward to a good meet tonight. We're getting very, very close to the postseason action for the young ladies. I believe both Perry and Dallas Center both go to the event center down in Des Moines to try and qualify and punch their ticket to the state wrestling meet. I'm not sure where Clarke of Osceola goes, but proximity-wise, you might think it might be the same place. Might see these ladies again.
Yeah, we might, and that's going to happen on Friday, January 27th. Perry and DCG are both in different regions, but they will be wrestling at the event center at the same time. So it will be nice to see and be able to cheer each other on.
That's right. They have different regions in the same venue. That's unique.
Yeah. Dallas Center Grimes is in Region 3, and Perry is in Region 4. And actually, Clarke is in Region 3 as well. So we will be seeing matchups again against Clarke and DCG at regionals, and we'll be able to cheer on Perry as well. So
these head-to-head matches will carry some criteria when it comes to building the brackets for the state qualification series. A win tonight will give you a head-to-head advantage and will then allow you to be seeded higher when it comes into building that bracket. What two wrestlers do we have reporting?
So for Clarke, we have Ellie Shin for 125 pounds. And it looks like for DCG, we have our very own Abby Osborne. She is a senior. Her record is 3-7. And Ellie's record is 20-4.
Dallas Center coming out with the gold singlets and red trim. Abby Osborne is wearing the green ankle band. Young Shin wearing the maroon and white uniforms, wearing the red ankle band. Shin in on a shot. Osborne with the counter. Now she's in on her own single. She's got her arms locked around Shin's right leg. She's trying to build to a better position. Now she comes to her feet. She's able to circle around, and there is 2 points. The referee is able to signal Abby Osborne with the 2 point. We're close to going out of bounds here on the edge, and that's how we'll start the first period with Abby Osborne, a 2-0 lead. Little headgear malfunction.
I've noticed that actually happens more often than the boys' meets than it does
I'm
the
wondering
girls,
if it's
which was interesting.
if it slides on the hair or what, but yeah.
I guess more hair don't care, huh?
More hair don't care. Back to the center and referee's position. The ref starts him. Abby Osborne with a nice elbow chop. Shin to her feet. Abby Osborne trying to take her back down to the net. Needs to make sure she doesn't lock her hands on those mat returns. She breaks her grip. Shin up to a tripod, trying to build to a stand-up. Osborne with good forward pressure decides to go ahead and cut her here with 1:01 left in the period. Both wrestlers circle back to the middle. And when I say cut her, not physically cut her, basically release her for an intentional escape. Now Shin with a slide by and trying to go around. Osborne's got her right arm around the leg. This is a position that Osborne was able to score from, and she does again. She's got 2 points, able to transition into a potential pinning combination with a half Nelson. The ref says we did not get 2 swipes. Now we've got a Peterson hookup situation here by Shin. Shin able to get the reversal. And the referee goes ahead and gets 2 near fall points awarded. And just like that, it is a score of 5-4 for Clarke's Shin over Dallas Center Grimes Osborne. 10 seconds left here. Osborne able to get the escape and tie it up. 5-5 as we end the first period.
Those 2 minutes just go so quickly.
I'm telling you, we're right back to where we started. 0-0, 5-5, all tied up.
And sometimes it feels like the period goes so fast, but when you try to get a pin, you're there for about 5 minutes.
Absolutely.
Or maybe that's just from the parents' perspective in the stands.
Mm-hmm. Shin with the choice to start the second period. She chooses neutral. Both wrestlers on their feet. Shin's trying that duck under to Osborne's right arm, Shin's left side. Now Shin with a reach across single, crossbody single. Now she changes levels and drops down. She gets a good low-level attack, able to drive Shin off of her feet, able to secure the 2-point takedown. Shin now leads 7-5 with 1:30 left in the period. See if Shin can Osborne can put a ride together, and just like that, Shin's able to get up and clear the hands for an escape. 7-6 now in favor of Abby Osborne. This is that part of the match we talk about where 2 minutes goes fast, but this is where the fatigue starts setting in a little bit. We'll find conditioning here. Both wrestlers trying to keep good position. Shin now in on a spot. Osborne whips her over in a cow catcher type maneuver. No points scored though. Now Shin with that low-level attack that she's had success with 2 or 3 times earlier. Single switches to a double. Now Shin gets her stretched out and is able to sprawl and get the 2 on the go behind. Shin takes the lead now, 8-7 with 36 seconds left. Now she's got back points. She's close to stacking Osborne up. The ref's got 2 fingers held out. 2 more back points. Extends her lead now 10-7 in favor of Osceola Shin. She's not done here. She's trying to add some more back points here at the end of the period. She's got a half Nelson on the left side and the other arm collected in what we call a one-on-one. Osborne needs to get her head up, get it off of the mat. Close to some additional near fall, but the clock runs out of time as the second period. Shin's feeling a little bit of that pain from getting her neck wrenched on there in the second period. We readjust the headgear. I like this choice for Abby as she chooses neutral. She's been strong in this period or in this position. She's got 3 takedowns, giving up that last one, but good technique on all 4 shots.
Yeah, she's definitely shown some growth throughout the season, and especially from last year as well. So it was great to see her come back out her senior year.
We have to realize that being a new sport, most everybody is generally new to this, unless you were born into a wrestling family and wrestled your brothers on the kitchen, floor or the living. And just like that, Osborne able to come around and secure a 2-point takedown, closes that gap 10-9. She goes ahead and intentionally releases. We've got 1:11 here, and Osborne in on another shot.
Got the coaches all up out of their seats ready to go. I'm waiting for them to start showing moves on each other, actually. I don't know what sometimes the entertainment is either on the mat or in the coach's corner.
Osborne's got her head to the outside. Shin with that crossface. She's trying to come around, but Osborne able to hang on to that leg. Osborne trying to improve her position. Shin's now working on a cradle. Neither wrestler able to advance the position. The referee calls a stalemate with 38.7 seconds left. Shin is leading Osborne 11-9. And just like that, off the whistle, Osborne in on a double leg, able to drive Shin to the out of bounds area. Needs to continue to wrestle here and is able to drive Shin off the mat. Both wrestlers slow to return to the middle. Fatigue starting to set in a little bit. We'll see which wrestlers got the energy to power through and win this match.
Definitely, they've both been working their butts off on this match, and looking at Shin definitely has had more matches in this year, but Abby is definitely fighting for it too.
Shin on a shot here, able to get that takedown with 7 seconds left. She's scoring back points as well. She's going to close the match on a strong note. She will go ahead and win this match 16-9. A lot of action for our first match.
There was a lot of action, and I'm proud of both of them. Proud of Abby for, she fought hard. She did a really good job for DCG.
And what I like is both wrestlers are so congratulatory towards each other.
Yes.
They both know they gave maximum effort.
Absolutely. It's nice that at the end of the match, you can win or lose, you can still, congratulate the other person. We're looking at Asia coming up, 130 pounds. Asia Jangier for Dallas Center Grimes. She is a junior here. Her record is 22-4.
That's quite the record. As we mentioned, she's got quite the voice.
For Dallas Center Grimes, Asia Jangier.
And she will take the forfeit.
Osceola with only the 5 wrestlers here tonight, so we're going to see a few open weights or a few forfeits for the DCG Mustangs. That makes the team score right now 6-3.
We got Bella Mulder for 135 pounds. She's a junior. Her record is 19-7. She is a captain of our team along with Asia. She's an extremely hard worker. And she is the second baseman on our varsity softball team.
Our next match is at 140 pounds. The winner by forfeit for Dallas Center Grimes.
140 pounds goes to Emily Hennigan. She is a junior. Her record is 12-8, and she plays soccer for the Mustangs.
I noticed there's a lot of dual sport or tri-sport athletes here. The young ladies getting to try several opportunities.
Yes. Yes. Here's Allie. Allie's for 145 pounds. Allie Voldemolder, and she's a sophomore. Her record is 9-5. She also plays soccer as well. Coming up is our 155-pounder, Mackenzie Sizemore for DCG. She's a senior. Her record is 21-8. She's a captain, and she loves to give the coaches all their gray hairs by wrestling matches close and to the end. For Clarke, we have
Samuels.
Yeah, Samuels. She is a freshman, and her record is 21-4. So this is a pretty even matched up mat today. I was talking to Samuels too, and she was very nice and pleasant, very helpful. I know Mackenzie's parents would like her to take a shot in this match.
Well,
we'll see if she's reserved or if she's going to go out and do it.
As a parent of a wrestler myself, I can empathize with those exact same sentiments. Again, Dallas Center will don the green ankle band. Samuels from Clarke takes the red. Ref brings him to the center. We get ready to start. Both girls long and lanky, have a lot of reach.
I was going to say, I mean, Mackenzie has run into where she's getting some shorter because she is 6 foot and she's getting some shorter opponents, and that's been tough at times.
The wonderful thing about the sport of wrestling is once you learn, the sport allows a style for every body type. And so while Sizemore is long and lanky, and you might think that is a disadvantage, let's say when you're on your feet, she's got tremendous leverage. And if you looked her reach, she was able to push down on Samuel's head. Eventually, that's a lot of weight that your back is carrying, your hips are carrying, and it should pay dividends in the third period, maybe by wearing Samuel's out.
I would have to commend the DCG coaches on all of the, training they do for the season to keep in condition. I mean, we have a CrossFit coach. We have a
Samuel's
coach
in on a half shot. Sizemore able to counter by sprawling and a crossface, able to come around, secure the 2-point takedown. Now leading 2-0 with about 50 seconds left here in the first period. She runs a tight waist. She now comes to a near side ride. Those long arms we talked about, leverage. It also gives you a tremendous ability to squeeze and a tight waist.
That was quite the return to the mat for Sizemore.
We like to call those mat returns, big returns. Now Sizemore with a half Nelson. If she can get Samuels knocked off of her hip and keep that arm trapped, there's a potential near fall situation here. She needs to grab that wrist. Oh, Samuel's arm came at an awkward angle, and Sizemore in an armbar position came up a little too high, and the ref had to call potentially dangerous.
I do like that the refs are cautious about those kinds of things, making sure everybody's staying safe.
We're back on a restart, and Sizemore on the restart grabs both hands before Samuels had gotten to her feet, and that is a penalty or an infraction. That's a 1-point award to Samuels. Short time here, 12 seconds. I'm sure Dallas Center's coaches would like Sizemore to ride the period out, not give up an escape. Boy, that length is really an advantage on top for her here. She's able to sink that arm, really put a lot of pressure on that half Nelson, and able to ride out the final 12 seconds of the period. DCG leading 2-1. Now Samuels with the choice. She elects to take the top position. See if she can put a ride together or a potential penning combination. Now she too looks like she has a locked hands. Those two penalties will negate each other out, Angie. Good crowd on hand tonight.
Yeah, very pleased for the showing for the girls. I think people are showing, that the girls deserve just as much respect as anybody else, and definitely here for the support. We appreciate that.
Sizemore able to get to her feet off the whistle, and Samuels, again, locks her hands prematurely. This time, though, Sizemore able to get the escape. She's awarded both the 1 point for the escape and another penalty point, now leading the match 5-1. The next penalty point on Samuels will actually be a 2-point penalty if she happens to have another infraction. And after that, it'd be disqualification. Let's hope that doesn't happen. Like to see these young ladies finish the match. Samuels in on a deep shot. Sizemore able to sprawl those long legs and hips, get them back, able to flatten Samuels out. The referee calls a stalemate. Samuels giving up ground. I like how Sizemore keeps the control, keeps her back to the middle of the mat. She's taken ground. She's certainly the aggressor in this match. Both ladies here do some hand fighting, trying to control wrists. It's hard to shoot on somebody when they have a hold of your wrists. I think the opening is there. Samuels in on a shot, a double leg attempt, able to get Sizemore's hips cracked down. Now Sizemore able to get them corrected. She's now got Samuels in bad position. She's got her flattened out. She's got a crossface.
Looks like Samuel still has a hold of her.
She's got a hold of that leg. Now she's able to clear that. Another 2-point takedown for Dallas Center Grimes Sizemore right at the end of the period. Those are the points that we like to have. Those are the points that are not answered and the points that build the lead.
Sizemore is definitely doing a great job with the 7-1 lead, start of the third period. She has a younger brother. I think he's been making sure she gets some extra training in at home.
Oh, my goodness. Sizemore had a really good stand-up here in the second period. Able to get a locked hands and an escape. She, again, is off. Samuels close to locking hands again. The referee says they didn't touch. Now Sizemore to her feet, able to peel the hands, turn in, and secure the escape, now leading 8-1. That's textbook. That's how we teach it in wrestling. Move off of the whistle, get to your feet, fight hands, score the escape.
Well, we know that Coach Jason is very knowledgeable at the textbook. He kept quoting it this weekend to some of the refs. So just giving them a little bit of a refresher course in case they needed some more knowledge and understanding.
Coach Wegner is definitely a technician. He understands wrestling and the finer points, and couldn't have a finer technician teaching the young ladies. And just like that, another shot by Samuels, another sprawl and go behind by Sizemore. Sizemore now with the 10-1 lead. Now gets her flipped over with that half Nelson.
She trying for that pin. She's trying for that pin.
Chest to chest.
We got a minute left.
2 back points extends that lead 12-1.
She's still working on breaking down that arm.
She's now got the one-on-one collected. This should help her get Samuels turned over again. Samuels is good about laying on that hip. Boy, she's just relentless on top with that half Nelson. She is. She's got, that has definitely been her bread and butter tonight.
Now, was that a move named after your family?
I am a half Nelson. That is correct. So,
will she be able to get it done with 17 seconds left?
She needs one more turn here, a couple more turns. Now, Samuels reaches back. Sizemore able to jump across to the other side. She's got a potential tight pinning combination here. She's got a chicken wing. Samuel's able to belly down and able to avoid giving up any additional back points. And that's how our match is going to end, folks. A 12-1 win for DCG's Sizemore.
That's a great win for Sizemore on senior night.
We didn't get a shot, though, out of her for her mom and dad. So
no, we're still
lots
working
of takedowns,
on that. Still working on that.
But we didn't get that shot that mom and dad wanted.
For Clarke is going to be Salinas at 170. She's a sophomore with a 4-20 record. For DCG, it's going to be Maya Fritz. She's a senior with a 26-5 record. The coaches say she's wrestling as consistent as anyone right now. And actually was first on the podium at the Waukee tournament last weekend.
So coming off of a hot streak.
That she is. She also is the starting goalie for the varsity girls soccer team who went undefeated last year.
Della Center Grimes has had a lot of soccer success. So again, talking about these dual and tri-sport athletes given into wrestling, soccer certainly, the footwork is akin to making successful wrestlers. Nice little arm drag attempt there by Fritz. Salinas able to square her position and not give up that leg. Sizemore in on Fritz in on a nice double leg attempt, basically lifting her off of her feet. Now she's got the half sunk deep. She's chest to chest. This is tight, folks. This is real tight. If she doesn't run out of real estate, she's going to get the fall.
There you go. She wins
just
with that
28
pin.
seconds for the fall for DCG's Fritz. I was impressed with that double leg takedown and lift.
Yeah, that looked really good. For DCG's 190 is Hallie Bodette. She's a sophomore with a 21-7 record. She took first as well last weekend at Waukee.
As I mentioned, Hallie has made the Iowa Girls Wrestling Association rankings, coming in at number 10 in this week's updated ranking. So yeah. I would say the trade-off from dance shoes to wrestling shoes is paying off.
I know. I don't think anybody, if we had a trivia out today saying which DCG girl danced for 10 years, did point, and traded her point shoes in for wrestling shoes, nobody would have guessed it's your 190-pounder Hallie Bodette. But, folks, that is a true story.
As we move up into the next weight class, I believe it's Clarke of Osceola that needs to report first.
It looks like we're going to go 105. Yes, this is 105 pounds. Macy Davis, she's a freshman. Her record is 5-19. And she's going to go up against Leah Newell for DCG. She's a junior with a 12-5 record. She's a tough girl. Had a couple of injuries, but has always showed up to do the work. So we'll see what she's got tonight. You know, I was impressed. Clarke is all freshmen except for one sophomore, so they're a very young team, and they got they'll be pretty strong with the years to come.
Both wrestlers come out and immediately hand fight. And all just like that, Leah Newell in with a high crotch single leg, able to come around, secure the quick 2 points.
It's good to see Leah. She got injured at Battle of Waterloo before Christmas with an ankle injury. So this is her first return to the mat.
I see no ill effects. She looks like she's walking strong. That shot surely was explosive. Referee starts him here back in the center. On the whistle, Leah with a quick breakdown. Now she's got a bar arm locked up. We'll see if she can't turn that into some back points. Macy Davis able to get back to her base position. Leah with a vicious arm chop on a breakdown. Well, she's really active on top here, putting the breakdown on the Osceola wrestler.
Yeah, I feel like with these lighter weights, like, they're real quick. So you got to either respond quick or react quick.
Referee tried to catch a quick glimpse to see if Leah had locked her hands, but no indication that she had, so referee continues to let them wrestle. 53 seconds left here in the pairing. Leah with that armbar that she had locked up. This time she's real close to being able to run over. She needs to run that shoulder to the ear. She does. She's able to flip over Macy Davis.
Macy's returning with that bridge, but got tired. That takes Leah for the pin.
I'm a big armbar fan. She ran that textbook, and so excellent, excellent work by Dallas Center Grimes, Leah Newell. And she gives herself a second arm raise there on her own. She was doubly happy.
That she was. That has to feel good to be the first match back and win with a pin. Looks like for Clarke, we have Josie Moore coming up for 115 pounds. She's a freshman. Her record is we have a forfeit first to announce. Gracie Wagi, 110 pounds. She's a senior for DCG. She is a captain for our team. Now we're going to get started with the 115-pound Josie Moore. Like I said, she's a freshman with a 29-6 record. She is wrestling Josephine Bond, who's a sophomore. Her record is 13-12. Fun fact about Josephine is that she's had the most overtime matches this year with 3 of them. And one was this weekend against at the Joaquin Northwest tournament.
Both wrestlers come out off of the whistle and begin to hand fight. I see a trend here. Dallas Center Grimes likes to control that arm, work it into an arm drag or pass an elbow and able to create an angle on a shot.
What's the point of an extended hand on the top of the head?
Basically, if you can get the wrestler to focus on that tap, if you will, or that hand coming, if for a split second they take their eyes off of your midsection, it should free up an opportunity for you to make a shot.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Referee is going to get them to break that wrist control that they had on each other. He's asking for more action between. And off the whistle, Josie from Osceola in on a low single. She's at the ankle.
She was really ready for that. Like, I think Josephine was just like, wait, that way I got set up first. And
she's able to turn that around. Now she's got herself in referee's position. Josephine has a headlock on, and it looks like it's going to be an illegal headlock. She did not have an arm encircled in that headlock, and the referee is going to stop that as an illegal hold and award 1 point to Osceola.
So Clarke's up 3-0 in this match so far.
Good mat return, although she did it with locked hands. So Josie is going to surrender 1 point, and Josephine Bond is on the board with her first point of the match, trailing 3-1 with 26 seconds left here in the first period.
I would say we have had some outstanding refs throughout the season this year and last year, and they've done a really good job of understanding that the girls are new to the sport and using it as teaching opportunities. So I really appreciate their patience with everyone.
I spent this weekend at the Perry Invitational, and I had a chance to talk to several of the referees. Just like that, we see a really aggressive crossface on the top position, and Josephine Bond able to come out for the reversal here and tie the match up right at the end of the period. Score is 3-3 as we head into the second period. Back to the story, though. Both referees that I had a chance to talk with had the opportunity to do some reffing on the girls this year, and both immensely enjoyed it. And like you said, it's new to everybody, and they were very, very good about teaching.
Yeah, we're fortunate to have some really good, outstanding refs in the sport.
For those of you out there that are watching tonight and maybe want to get involved, the state of Iowa is desperately in need of more referees. So I would encourage you all to take the test and get your license. And even if it's just at a junior high meet, get started, start doing some refereeing.
It's a way to get involved and to understand the other side of things instead of just always being in the bleachers.
I reffed when I was in college after I had graduated. It was a good way to make a few dollars so I could buy, you know, quote unquote, a sandwich or two when I was in college. So that's what I told my mom I did with the money.
And your mom was probably like, how many sandwiches are you buying?
And just like that, Bond in with that long-armed half Nelson, she was able to turn over the Osceola wrestler. She's got it sunk deep. She's chest to chest. This one's going to be tough for Josie to get out of.
Josie's trying with that bridge, but she just couldn't hold it much longer.
You talked about being on your back and 2 minutes being a long time. Bond gets the pin in exactly 3 minutes in tonight's match. That extends DCG's lead over Clarke of Osceola to 58-3.
And that concludes the match for DCG and Osceola of Clarke.
Did you know the sport of the wrestling is the only sport that requires contestants to shake hands before and after
I like that.
the competition? I do too. I've always enjoyed it.
Yeah. So I think now we're going to take a break, and we're going to introduce the seniors. For DCG, we have 5 seniors tonight that will be recognized that have been part of this team of, you know, laying down the foundation for history in the making. And we are very fortunate to have them as part of our team. They've been strong leaders throughout the last couple of years, and one of them is actually came out her senior year. So that would be Rachel Beckert. She is a senior, but first-year wrestler.
Never too late to start, so. I see a few red and white robes tonight. I'm a big fan of the Mustang robes.
Mustang robes, it looks like 5 of them are getting put on right now. And after senior recognition, it looks like Perry and Osceola of Clarke will be up to wrestle each other. Fun fact about a Perry coach, Mike Peterson, did you know, can really do great with braiding hair?
I did not know that, but actually I did know that. His wife was in active service.
Yes.
And he was the sole parent at home while she was serving her tour.
With
and
3 little girls at home.
3 little girls. And
all
he became
have super long blonde hair, everyone.
very adept. He actually makes me think of that video where the guy takes the wet dry vac and he sucks all the hair up
yeah.
so he can make the ponytail.
Oh, I could see him doing that. I'm wondering if he invented that,
He
actually.
might have.
But, yeah, and don't tell his wife, but one of the girls, I'm not going to rat her out, but said, actually, he's better braider than my mom. But what a great guy.
Yeah, Mike has been a absolutely long-time supporter of the Perry wrestling community. Served on the board of directors for the Junior Jays for, boy, it's probably getting close to 10 years. Brought his daughter, Haley, who is Perry's 100-pound contestant tonight, to practices back when there was no girls wrestling. She wrestled the boys and competed with the boys, and Mike helped coach and just been a really valuable asset to the community.
Absolutely, and I mean, he even coaches soccer. He's
referee soccer too.
Referee soccer. He's very positive and encourages the high school kids to get their reffing license, and he does it right along with them. So it's kind of, you know, don't worry, you're not out there by yourself. I'll be there with you. So great supporter.
girls wrestling in Perry has had an extremely successful debut. I know they've got 2 tournament titles this year. They started off at a tournament, I believe, in Ankeny with several schools and came home with the title, and then was able to win their home tournament last weekend in Perry last Friday night.
Absolutely. They're just relentless. I mean, they come out hard. You better be ready. They all just look like innocent individuals, but on the mat,
ferocious.
Yeah, Taylor Atwell, she looks like the sweetest little thing. You put her in a singlet and put her on the mat, and you better watch yourself.
Mustang Wrestling Club, and those banners are actually for sale for $30. If you're interested, please see Emily Wegner.
We've talked a little bit about youth programs. The Mustang Youth Program, with its leadership, has been thriving. I've noticed I'm kind of a wrestling junkie, so I look at track wrestling on the weekends and watch what kids have gone where and what clubs are sending their kids to where. And the DCG Youth Programs had a lot of success this year.
That they have, and they just had a big tournament last Friday, the
That's
13th
right.
here. And it was nice. I mean, we had the girl wrestlers and the boy wrestlers of the high school either reffing or running tables, but getting involved. And I think that's important for little kids to see these high schoolers' faces and out in the community and doing things.
Fun
Somebody
fact,
to look up to.
2 years ago, Jason Wegner was having trouble locating enough volunteers to be officials. So my brother Joel and I came out of retirement and helped out one night doing officiating. Now, I don't know if it's a testimony to how well we did or didn't do, but we didn't get asked back this year. So
that kind of reminds me of when I was told younger to mow the grass. I did a really bad job. I was never asked again.
Let's scalp it in a few places.
I was trying to do designs. It just didn't work out. We got the Perry wrestlers warming up right now.
As is customary in what we call a triad duel, where we have 3 teams. The team that generally travels the furthest gets to have the first 2 duels so they can get home in a decent hour. And so Osceola geographically traveled the furthest, so they'll get their 2 duels out of the way, and we'll finish up with the marquee matchup, DCG versus Perry tonight.
Looks like we're going to get ready to do senior night. You're doing it down there, right? It's either that or I can read it. I have it. Whatever you want to do. We're off, right? Not yet.
Tonight, we'd like to recognize our senior wrestlers along with their parents in our DCG athletic program. The DCG community would like to thank them and their parents for their efforts and hard work during their high school career. Thank you to all for your participation. First up is Rachel Becker. Rachel is the daughter of Lady Clarke Becker. She's Mock Trial, Key Club, National Honor Society, Student Council, and Theater Productions. Rachel's future plans are to attend Iowa State University to double major in horticulture and English. Senior, Rachel Becker. Wyatt Fritz is the daughter of Heather and Guthrie Fritz. She's been involved in girls wrestling, soccer, speech, National Honor Society, and Student Council. Maya's future plans are to play soccer and major in computer science at Grandview University. Senior, Maya Fritz. Abby Osborne is the daughter of Stacy and Jeff Osborne. She's been involved in girls wrestling, track and field, and softball. Abby's future plans are to attend Iowa State University to major in psychology. Senior, Abby Osborne. Mackenzie Sizemore is the daughter of Angie and Andrew Newmeyer. She's been involved in girls wrestling, National Honor Society, Pro Kappa, and student ambassadors. Mackenzie's future plans are to attend the University of Iowa to major in biomedical sciences. Senior, Mackenzie Sizemore. And Gracie Waukee is the daughter of Gene Waukee. She's been involved in girls wrestling, GSA Community Club, and Bell Boys Choir. Gracie plans to wrestle at Underside College and major in education and mathematics. Senior, Gracie Waukee. Let's give these girls a nice big round of applause and their parents.
All right. I think our crowd just missed. Coach Malum for Perry was doing a little dancing over there, had a little moonwalk going.
He's got the moves. I've seen him.
He does.
He makes all his own moves. He pretends he's sitting on a tub of hot water.
He is an excellent teacher, though. I work with him, and he's a lot of fun.
TJ was my neighbor for many years before he moved to the other side of town, to the better side of track. So I've had a lot of good times with TJ.
That's when he had the funny farmhouse, right?
Absolutely, yes.
He was a city kid, decided he wanted to try the farm life and got some animals. And
he learned how to raise goats, and so he was your goat man.
And then checked that off the bucket list and moved on, huh?
Yep. Yeah, I talk like I've got a lot of Perry ties, and I do. I've lived in the Perry community for the last 20-some years. My kids, one has graduated, the other, Jenna, is a junior. But I actually wrestled and played football for Dallas Center Grimes when I was in high school. So I'm completely split allegiance here. I cheer for both squads.
I know I wore my neutral wrestling mom sweatshirt that my wonderful neighbor Amy made me.
Good for you.
And because my kids, one graduated from Dallas Center Grimes last year, and obviously Hallie is wrestling on the team, but I've taught in Perry for 22 years, so a lot of these kids I'm like the second mom to.
Well, for those in our listening audience, Miss Bodette is a favorite of many, many, many students, including my daughter. She thinks Miss Bodette is the bomb. So,
well, that is
absolute
very sweet.
favorite.
That is very sweet to hear. Your kids are great. I love all kids. And I love their faces when I ask them when they're kind of acting up, and I ask them what's for dinner, and they just look at me, and I said, because if you continue acting like that, I'm coming over. And we're having a family meeting.
You're always welcome. They're cranking the music up, so we're going to be close. I think due to the small nature of Osceola's squad, every wrestler is allotted a 45-minute rest time between matches. So the announcement of seniors between matches and this little break while Perry was warming up should get every wrestler to that allotted time. I want to make one comment about senior night. Wonderful to see all the parents walk across with their kids, because the behind-the-scenes work that it takes to keep a wrestler going throughout the season, the constant washing of sweaty workout clothes and proper nutrition and meals, and getting the wrestlers to an early morning bus on a Saturday to make a tournament, or getting home late from a dual meet. Parents, it's a big task, and so kudos to all those senior parents for putting in that time.
Yeah, and to all parents, I feel like wrestling season is the time that I eat the best, because you're wanting to make sure you get your proteins in and not as many cookies. Which doesn't mean I don't have them hidden somewhere in the house. We just don't tell everybody where they are.
Absolutely. There's a bag of M&Ms somewhere in the house. I know it.
That is right.
Paula used to keep some M&Ms in the cupboard, actually in the mixing bowl of the mixer. She would hide them in there because she would make her world-famous Monster Bars.
Oh, yeah.
That Coach J.P. Hogan likes to spend exorbitant amounts of money on. But every so often she would go to make up a batch for a wrestling meet or a Saturday tournament, and all the M&Ms would be gone. And we'd find the empty wrapper, and when you've got a young boy wrestling and cutting weight and little self-control, we knew very easily where all the M&Ms went.
Now you can just send him all the M&Ms he needs up at Iowa State.
His nutrition plan has changed a little bit since he's been in college, so he's really grown a lot in this last 8 weeks.
Oh, I bet.
Looks like we have some coaches over working on a lineup at the scorer's table. The Osceola coach is meandering back to his bench.
His brother actually lives on my street.
Wonderful.
Yeah. The coach's name is Doug Heberlin, and my neighbor is Dwayne Heberlin. They're from, grown up in Knoxville, I believe. We have the captains coming out to shake hands and do a coin toss. Oh, in fact, if you look down there, there's Dwayne supporting his brother and the DCG girls wrestler. He has actually, his youngest is a wrestler. Trying it out for the first time this year.
We've mentioned a couple of Perry coaches over there, Mike Peterson and TJ Malum. I'd like to point out Perry is head coached by Josh Moore, and JP Holgan is also on staff. JP Holgan has been a long time assistant coach for the boys program, stepped over into the girls room this year. He had a conversation with him. He has a nephew, Towns Wilson, who is going to be a freshman next year.
Yes.
We'll look to see JP back in the boys room in those coaching ranks next year.
Yes, he can't get his Towns' younger brother, Guthrie, involved in wrestling. Guthrie likes to play basketball. And actually,
well,
Josh,
we all have the one black sheep in the family, so.
And Josh Moore is actually Perry's resource officer. I'd like to give him a shout out. The kids just love him at school. It's like part of the family. And his wife is a teacher at Dallas Center Grimes High School. So there's a lot of Perry DCG ties.
Well, you know him. You love him. Steve Sean brings the announcing crew a water just in time. Looking good there, bud.
Now, it was your wife's birthday the other day. Did you take her out for dinner?
We did. We went to Rube's.
Ooh, that's nice. Did you
make
her
cook your steak?
No, I cooked everyone's.
You cooked everyone's steak. That's wonderful.
All right. We'll let you sit up here with us.
Looks like we're having a meeting here at the table.
I guess right now the DCG girls are having their poster signing. That's why we're seeing a lot of people go in and out. I thought it was for the good food that you were cooking at the concession stand. Nope.
How much does a Dallas Center Grimes lady charge for an autograph? You know, in the days of NIL, you can get, she could probably think about charging for a signature.
Really?
They're
Didn't
celebrities.
even know that.
Especially that young lady, Asia, with that voice. She's going places.
Oh, yeah. Not going to lie, there's been a few papers laying around our house that is a actual assignment, sorry to the teachers, but also has wrestling moves written on it in sequence. Do this, do this, do this.
Well, you remarked at my scratch pad today, which is basically the backside of a bill envelope that I got today. I was doing a little show prep and looking up the ranked wrestlers from tonight's duels, and so, sometimes you just got to grab the first thing you can write on.
I'm sure that some of those teachers appreciated that when it was turned in.
All right, we're underway here. Who have we got?
Oh, we got, looks like, we're going to start out with 125 pounds. For Perry, it's Amy Aguirre, and she is a senior with a record of 11-17. And her record is 20-4.
We saw Shin pull out a late third period victory in her first match here. Right off the whistle, Shin in on a nice little double leg. Aguirre from Perry able to fight it off with a sprawl. Now Aguirre is working a front head type position here. She's able to bring Shin down to the mat. She's putting a lot of pressure on Shin's head. Aguirre looking to snap her down. She loses control of that front head, and Shin able to clear and get back into a better position. Both wrestlers now locked ear to ear. Now Shin with a quasi headlock realized she didn't have it tight enough and gives it up. 1 minute left here in the first period.
One thing about Aguirre, she is a senior, but she's looking into going into either trades or being an entrepreneur. So I thought that was really cool.
Absolutely. Perry's got a really strong skills program and really pushes trades. And as of late, all you need to do is go try and find a plumber or an electrician. The world has tons of demand.
That's right. And we have one of the best electricians sitting on the bench over there coaching, J.P. Hogan.
Absolutely.
He also does plumbing too, doesn't he?
Yes, he does.
Heating and cooling. He's just an all-around guy.
Yep. Both wrestlers here lock ear to ear. Aguirre trying to be aggressive with that front head. She's able to snap Shin down. Shin comes to a tripod. Aguirre working a cow catcher move. She's got it locked. She's not able to apply the right torque or enough torque to get Shin whipped over.
That ends that first period already.
2 minutes flies by very quick. Score is 0-0. Osceola starts the duel with choice. They choose to defer. Aguirre looks over to her coaches. She wants to defer too, but Shen already chose that, so she says, I'll take the second best choice. We'll go both neutral.
I know, when we were at the wrestling tournament this weekend, you had to make a decision, and Jason made one decision, and Mulder made the opposite. So then it was like, what should we do?
I love it when a wrestler looks at their coaches and does what the wrestler wants to do and says, forget you, I'm going to do it. And it's just like that Shin in on a high crotch. She's able to secure the takedown. Aguirre gets an arm trapped and is now put on her back. Shin putting a lot of pressure forward. She's going to get the 3 near fall. Aguirre is trying to get back to her belly.
Wow, she really squirmed out of that one.
Boy, a tough fight there by Perry's Aguirre to give up 3. Now she gives up another half Nelson here on bottom. And just like that, Shin able to secure that fall in 2 minutes and, what is that, 44 seconds.
I'm a science teacher. I'm not a math teacher.
Not a math.
So I tapped out on that one.
I'm just an amateur, but I'll tell you, I do try to help out the local radio station at the state wrestling tournament. And there is nobody better than Doug Reeder from KDLS at picking out, time of falls. He's a math wizard when it comes to 60-second intervals.
We have Charity Michaels at 130 pounds, senior, taking the forfeit. She has a 21-4 record.
Charity's had a really successful campaign. She's also one of those young ladies that competed against the young men when it was a combined sport, and so she's had a really long and good career. She has a sister that we'll see later tonight.
Refs trying to figure out who each team is going to send up.
Perry. So in that match, I believe it's Osceola that will have to report first in this match. Perry sends a wrestler out.
It's going to be our 140-pound Julie Malum, who's a sophomore. Her record is 32-11. She will take the forfeit. Julie also has an amazing singing voice. She's done the national anthem. I heard her sing the national
anthem the other night. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Our next match is at 155 pounds.
So these wrestlers aren't just tough, but they're all very talented. All right, coming out is 155 pounds. Freshman, Ava Devilbliss for Perry. Her record is 17-3. And against Clarke's Samuels, she is also a freshman. 21-4 is her record.
Both wrestlers immediately lock horns, so to speak, twirl each other around, and go out of bounds. 8 seconds gone here in the first period.
If you remember, Samuel just wrestled Sizemore for DCG. That was a pretty hard-fought match as well. So hopefully she's recovered.
Devil Bliss in on a nice fireman's carry, able to secure the 2-point takedown. That was good technique, textbook technique. Now we're going to see something we haven't seen all night. Devil Bliss tries to sink a leg into a cross body ride. She's got a breakdown going here where she's got Samuel's head down on the mat. Sizemore had a lot of success in that first match with her half Nelson with those long arms. And now we see Devil Bliss with her own version of a half Nelson. Samuel able to fight that off. She's now back to referee's position. We're seeing Devil Bliss with an array of breakdown techniques here on top. That one, she just about pulled Samuel back on top of her. Able to correct that position and get back into a better area of control. Devil Bliss running a little bit of risk of getting her hips high. Samuel tries to bite or buck her hips higher. Now we got to swipe a 1 count. In wrestling, you need 2 consecutive swipes to secure a 2-point near fall. You need 5 swipes to secure a 3-point near fall. Only 1 swipe given. So no points there for that period. Down to 24 seconds left here in the period. Devil Bliss leading 2-0. Looks like Samuel's hand's giving her a little bit of a fit there. Good first move on bottom. Better first move on top. Nice arm chop. Able to bring her back. We've seen this tonight a couple of times where the young ladies are trying to do mat returns and they're bringing their opponent back to the mat but not releasing their hands. And that's the case here for Perry's Devil Bliss. She's going to surrender a 1-point penalty. She now leads 2-1. Caution on Samuel from Osceola. She tried to start just a little too soon. Devil Bliss again with that arm chop. Samuel to the tripod stand-up. This time, Devil Bliss able to get the return. She had a trapped wrist. Allowed her to return without the locked hands penalty, and that's how we're going to end the first period. Perry leading 2-1 over Osceola.
We're starting to breathe heavy on this one, so.
Yeah, the girls are working real hard out there. This time, Devil Bliss with the choice. She defers. Samuel takes top. Samuel is going to get a caution here. Maybe the referee is just using it as a teaching moment. I didn't see him give the caution, but Samuel did not have her hand on the elbow in the starting position. Now Devil Bliss with a side roll. Gets Samuel temporarily knocked down to her hip. Devil Bliss now to her feet. She's pushing down on her hand. She needs to get her leg free. She gets a 2-point reversal. Potentially could have had the escape and a takedown, but the referee ruled it continuous motion, only giving the 2 points instead of the 3. Devil Bliss with a mean right on top. She's got her arm buried in the back of Samuel's neck, keeping her head down on the mat. It makes it really, really hard to move. Now she's got a power half. She cranks it over. She's got her flipped over. She needs to settle back. Samuel trying to roll through. Samuel does roll through. Not before Devil Bliss gets 3 near fall. Samuel gets a reversal of her own, 2 points. Devil Bliss now trying to come out the back door. She needs to free that head and that arm. Whoa. Samuel kind of takes advantage of Devil Bliss throwing herself to her back here on an attempt to escape. I didn't see the referee give any swipes, so no back points awarded. 7-3 here with about 30 seconds left in the second period. Devil Bliss posts both arms. She's trying to get to her base. She's able to come to her knees here as Samuel's trying a reinforced half of her own.
Got 15 seconds left. See what she can do.
Samuel able to score 2 points on that reinforced half right as the period ends, narrows that gap to a 7-5 lead now for Devil Bliss from Perry.
Seems like that left hand is really bothering Samuel too. She keeps looking at it.
Devil Bliss doesn't want to go underneath Samuel after that tough second period ride she put on. She elects to go neutral here where she had success. Remember, she had that really good fireman's carry in the first period. See if she can get back to that technique. Both wrestlers look like they're trying to headlock. It's throw or be thrown. Both wrestlers here struggling for hip position. And Devil Bliss able to come behind to score the 2-point takedown. Puts a little more cushion between her and Samuel, now leading 9-5. Devil Bliss wants to keep pressure forward, keep Samuel's head down.
We got a minute left in this third period.
Samuel trying to reach back here, grab an arm, trying to pull Devil Bliss over the top. Devil Bliss does a good job of sagging her hips back. Now she's running a risk of getting a little high here. She's going to slide over the top, see if she surrenders 1 or 2 here. Devil Bliss dives in on a leg, no change in control. This is usually a clock eater. Devil Bliss able to come out of that unscathed, not give up any points. We're inside 30 seconds here. Now Devil Bliss tries to put a leg in. She needs to keep that leg tighter, put that boot in tighter. Now her hips are high.
Ooh, she kind of landed really hard.
The referee puts up both hands in a locked hand signal. This is a 1-point penalty for Osceola, narrowing that lead 9-6. Devil Bliss needs to know that the next one is a 2-point penalty. Short time, we like to call it. Nice arm chop by Devil Bliss on top. Good first move. Devil Bliss trying to ride the period out. 2 seconds, 1 second. And that's the way our match is going to end, with Perry coming out on top here, 9-6. Again, both girls, Samuel from Osceola, in 2 high-scoring matches, 2 matches that went the distance, fought to the end.
Absolutely, they did a really good job. And they were trying to take advantage of when somebody else made a mistake. And that's not always easy to do when you're trying to just brace yourself and get your own balance. I do think JP and TJ were over there on the Perry bench trying to show a move on each other. I think sometimes watching the coaches is just as entertaining as watching the match.
I used to love watching parents in the match, and my mom was notorious for beating up anybody she sat next to. She'd grab a hold of them, and she'd have a grip, and she's trying to execute a move. Salinas here going to take the forfeit for Osceola.
At 170 pounds. She is a sophomore and a 4-20 record.
She gets a big smile as she gets her arm raised, and the Osceola crowd well represented here tonight with the cheering section.
We got 100-pounders coming up. Haley Peterson for Perry. She is a senior with a 15-10 record. And Macy Davis from Osceola. She is a freshman with a 5-19 record.
I think this is 105 pounds, so Perry coaches trying to get matches in here before the big qualifying event. So Haley Peterson bumping up to 105 pounds here to wrestle.
Well, that's good. Otherwise, she would be not wrestling tonight.
Absolutely. Haley Peterson with the quick takedown and the go behind. Macy Davis with a high hip maneuver to try and shake Haley Peterson off.
She's the middle child. I don't think you can shake Haley Peterson off.
Haley with a tough right here, staying behind the elbows. She needs to break down Davis if she wants to attempt to turn. Davis doing a nice job fighting hands, trying to come to her feet. I'm impressed with these young ladies trying to keep good position here when they knee slide or scoot to their to referee's position, to their base. It's tough to score when you're on your belly.
Yeah.
Haley needs to kind of be careful here. She's a little bit high in her position, draping her head over the top. Davis could reach back and grab that head and potentially pull Haley underneath. Haley now settles back. She's behind the elbows. She's got a half Nelson. Davis peels that half Nelson off and controls the wrist, covers the fingers, as we like to say. Inside of 30 seconds left here. Peterson putting a tough right on Davis from Clarke of Osceola. Haley's another one of those products that started wrestling a long time ago, before there was just girls wrestling, and she's put the whoop on quite a few boys in her career. And just like that, Peterson able to run her over and score some back points right at the end of the period. Haley going to extend her lead with a 2 count, so she gets a 2-point near fall. Extends her lead 4-0. Unanswered points right at the end of the half, or right at the end of the period.
Now for the decision, are you supposed to look at your coach and him decide if you're going to be top, bottom, or neutral? Or
I think
can you just pretend if you have
tactics,
your own ideas, you're just like, I'm not going to look at you?
Tactics and familiarity come into it. A coach generally knows if a wrestler, just like that, Haley Peterson able to wing down on a side roll type maneuver and able to step across for a 2-point reversal, extends 6-0. But back to the coach's decision. A 1-point illegal hold. I didn't see what the hold was. Perhaps a full Nelson. But back to the coach. After you practice with these young ladies for the majority of the season, you get and watch them compete, you get a good understanding of if they're good on bottom, if they're strong on top. And, tactics come into it. How many points am I ahead? Do I need to get an escape to get ahead at the end of a match? Things like that. And so at the end of the day, though, it's still a suggestion. The wrestler can always choose what they want, but we see the coach making those decisions more frequently. Haley Peterson again with another strong move on top. She's going to get 2 swipes and get 2 near fall. Extends that lead 8-1.
Davis did a good job with bridging and flipping over so that she could get in better position.
If it's your daughter's choice, what does she take? Generally.
I don't know.
Whatever
usually,
Jason tells her.
Yeah, whatever the coach would tell her. Usually I'm watching between the slits of my fingers. I mean, makes me nervous.
The nervous mom, absolutely.
Yeah, I always carry a barf bag in my wrestling bag. You betcha.
Haley doing a smothering job here on top. Osceola at risk, I think, of getting a stall call. The referee looking for more action on the bottom. Haley now with a reinforced half. She's out walking it. Macy Davis, able to get back to a sitting position. She's now got hand control, almost able to come up for the stand-up and an escape. Peterson able to put pressure and bring the torso of Macy Davis back to the mat.
Yeah, it almost was like Peterson was like, nope, not today, you're going to get up.
It'll be Haley Peterson's choice here as we start the third period. She looks to her coaches, and old dad over there telling her to go down. She didn't have much trouble scoring that reversal in about 5 seconds in the second period, so good first move. Haley's had a little bit of an injury bug. She's got a pretty substantial brace on her right knee.
Yeah, maybe we should write this down that the date and time that she listened to her dad, so he doesn't forget that, yes, I did listen to you once
That
in high
is
school.
brilliant. Yes, absolutely. Haley is an independent thinker, definitely. Dad's not right very often. Peterson with the escape, came to her feet. Now we're looking at a headlock situation by Macy Davis. Haley able to sag her hips down and able to come around behind for the 2-point takedown. Haley Peterson leading by 10 points, which puts us into what we call a major decision category. If you win by 7 points or less, it's a 3-point team score. If you win by 8 to 14 points, that adds 4 to the team score. If you win by 15 points or more, that's a technical fall, adds 5 points. And then, of course, the ultimate goal in wrestling is the pin, and Haley able to suck back Macy Davis. Referee only gets 1 swipe, though. No near fall points. See if Haley can tack on some more back points here. Haley able to pin her. Oh! She gets a little overzealous with that turn. Trying to score those more back points, score those additional back points. Gives up a reversal.
Davis came in with a hard crossface on that, too.
Haley able to get the 2 points back. Lead is still 10 points, 13-3. And that's how our match is going to end, with Perry's Haley Peterson bumping up, if you will, to 105 pounds to take on Macy Davis from Osceola.
She did a really good job. She did a really good job on that one.
You talked about the lighter weight wrestlers being very quick, and both of these wrestlers were very, very agile, very, very quick.
Yeah. That freshman from Clarke, it's her first year. She's gonna improve every year and get better. So
she's definitely got brighter days ahead. I agree.
She did a good job. She wrestled a senior that's a pretty tough wrestler, who's been wrestling since she was basically probably 4 years old. All right, so for Perry right now, coming up is 115-pound Taylor Atwell. She's a senior with a 28-11 record, who is wrestling Josie Moore from Clarke, who's a freshman with a 29-6 record. This should look pretty good.
Both gaudy records, lots of success here. So, not familiar with Josie Moore. I have watched Taylor Atwell and coached her for several years. So, Taylor has got a very aggressive crossface and cradle from the top. We'll see if she can get to that position here later in the match.
I think Taylor was wrestling before she could even walk, from the history of her dad and her uncles all being strong wrestlers in the family. And
her grandpa was a coach as well in Panora. So
was he?
Big wrestling family.
Yeah. Fun fact, I taught Taylor's stepmom my first year of teaching. So I've known them for quite a while.
You're not that old.
Well, I keep telling myself I'm not.
A missed headlock here by Josie Moore. Atwell able to come behind. She needs to return Josie to the mat and get her 2 points, and she's able to do that. This is a position where Atwell's really strong. Here comes that patented crossface. She's able to take the head to the knee here. Obviously, the head's not as strong as your leg, so she was trying to look for a cradle or lock it up. Now she comes to a reinforced half position. Needs to get her hips off to the side if she has a hope of getting her turned. 45 seconds left here in the first period. She goes back to this cradle attempt here. Now she's got it locked up. She's got real estate. The ref.
Ref almost was taken out on that one.
The ref is able to get 2 swipes and 2 near falls. Kind of a wonderful scramble here at the end. Taylor thought her opponent had gone out of bounds, kind of gave up on the position. Josie Moore says, I didn't hear a whistle. She dove right back at Taylor. Taylor able to duck under, and no change in position here.
10 seconds left of the first period.
Perry's Taylor Atwell leading Josie Moore 6-1. not sure that score is correct.
As we want to remind you that the concession stand will soon be closing, so there is still food available here for the next 10 minutes.
I didn't see the referee award the 1-point escape, but he must have awarded the 1-point escape and another 2-point takedown for Taylor's Atwell.
I wonder it's when she escaped from the cradle, maybe?
Yeah, I think maybe. Perry with a strong first move here on that takedown, but on the mat return, it looks like maybe she got either an elbow in the stomach or knocked the wind out of her. Let's hope she's all right.
Yeah. We're fortunate to have Jared Torrey from Athletico down on the mat as our DCG trainer. He does a lot for the DCG school district. He even subs.
Always give a shout out to the athletic trainer, keeping our athletes in good shape and helping them with rehabilitation when they get dinged up.
How long do they get for?
That's a very good question. So what we call recovery time, they don't like to call it injury time. Recovery time is 1 minute and 30 seconds.
Clarke's back on her feet. Hopefully
Referee
she just
signals.
needs to regain her breath a little bit. And
There was no change in position, so
I don't think she'll
Atwell
be
goes
changing.
back down to the bottom position. Great first move stand up. Cleared the arm, raised that knee up, able to come to her feet and clear the hands. Quick escape, and now a shot, a double leg shot here. Atwell's got her head buried in the middle. Now she's able to bring it up. She's going to lift and return, able to take Josie off of her feet. Feet straight to back. There's a takedown. Straight into the fall.
She got the pin for that one.
What are the match for Perry, Taylor, Atwell?
That's a fall in 3 minutes and 26 seconds for Perry's Taylor Atwell. And that extends your team score to Perry with 25 points and Clarke at 12 points.
We have a 120-pounder for Perry, freshman Yamilet Gonzalez, who's going to take the forfeit. Her season has been 10-3. Yamilet is quite the athlete too. She plays soccer, and whatever sport she's in or trying, she gives it her all.
She's a scrapper.
That concludes our Perry versus Clarke of Osceola. Perry won 31 points. Clarke has 12.
Good dual meet. We got to see some matches that went the distance. Got to see some solid technique. And like you said, both teams exhibited a lot of effort and not a lot of quit in these young ladies. No quit in these young ladies.
And I applaud Clarke of Osceola. You came with 4 wrestlers, and you really laid it all out on the mat and left it there and fought hard. So proud of each and every one of them.
And as you mentioned, they're extremely young, all freshmen, I believe you had said. And so there are much brighter days. Let's hope those teammates go out and recruit somebody in their class to fill out that lineup and continue to build on their tradition.
So now we'll have a little bit of a break so that the Perry wrestlers get their 45-minute recovery rest time. I can go to the bathroom.
Welcome back to wrestling fans. We'll start off here with Perry and Dallas Center, and just like that, a quick takedown attempt here by Perry. Good counter here by Dallas Center.
This is a special exhibition match. Dallas Center Grimes, Sabrina Mackey, and for Perry, Gambling Gonzalez.
Gonzalez able to get the escape.
So it looks like we have Sabrina Mackey for DCG. Wrestling Amy Aguirre for Perry.
I think they said this was Gonzalez from Perry.
Was it? Is it Yamlet?
Yep, and so it's an exhibition match.
What does that mean?
Means that, you know, junior varsity exhibition, maybe they didn't weigh the same weight, but they were able to pair them up because they were close enough. So not in the varsity lineup. It won't count towards the team score, but both wrestlers will get a chance to have a match under their belts.
Oh, that's nice. Get some experience.
It's all about increasing the mat time. Little arm drag attempt there by Gonzalez at the end of the period. Ran out of time, not able to score. Who did you say the Dallas Center wrestler was?
I believe that's Sabrina Mackey. She's a freshman with a 3-17 record, and this is her first year of wrestling.
She showed good mat awareness. They're able to fend off Gonzalez's takedown attempt here and came out on top. She's holding a 2-1 advantage here. Gonzalez trying to work that head really hard here in the second period. Both wrestlers hand fighting here, trying to gain what we call inside position.
It is Amy. It says Aguirre on the singlet.
So it is Amy Aguirre.
Thank goodness for the last names on the back of the singlets.
Absolutely. My eyes aren't that good. Just like that, we got Mackey with a turn here. Aguirre is on her back. Able to secure a 3-point near fall, extends that lead 7-1. Mackey in control here again. She's got another flip. The referee's going to get 2 swipes before we run out of real estate. That should take our score now 9-1 in favor of Sabrina Mackey. Referee takes him back to the middle for restart. Just like that, a nice little switch position here by Aguirre. She brought her hips to the party here, but she gets a leg stuck in behind. Mackey holding on for dear life here. Aguirre comes to her feet. She's able to break the grip. She should have a 1-point escape. The referee does award it. She tries to transition that into a leg shot of her own. But Mackey able to put her foot down here and break that a takedown attempt. Aguirre gaining some ground here. She's able to reach for a single leg. This time she's able to take Mackey down and secure the 2 points. Closes that gap now 9-4 with 5 seconds left here in the second period. The referee asked young Miss Mackey here what she wants for her choice to start the third period. She's had a lot of success getting turns on Perry's wrestler, so she chooses the top position. Aguirre gets down in referee's position. Referee blows a whistle start. Just like that, another switch. That's the second one she's hit. This time she doesn't get a leg caught, and so Perry's Aguirre able to narrow that score now 9-6. Mackey comes to her feet and secures the 1-point escape. Now 10-6 in favor of Dallas Center Grimes.
So for the escape, do you just need to face them?
Yeah, you need to face them, and generally you need to break contact with them or to gain where the top wrestler has no longer gotten control. The referee did not award the 2-point takedown there in Aguirre's takedown attempt. I'm not sure why. Amy, I thought, had clearly controlled the hips or covered the hips. The referee choosing not to award the 2 points. Inside a minute to go here in the third period. Tight score here. Dallas Center leading Perry 10-6.
I have watched Sabrina wrestle throughout the season, and she will wrestle past exhaustion. She's just relentless, just keeps going, doesn't give up.
Aguirre really pushing the pace here, knowing that she needs to make some offense happen. Sabrina backing out a little bit. Referee cautions her with a stall call. Now Sabrina has got a front head position. She's off to the side here. Sabrina's got those long arms trying to do it. Now Aguirre trying to cow catch her here. She falls to her own hip here.
We got Perry's coaches doing some moves in the air.
Lots of action over there on the Perry bench, encouraging. No change in action. Sabrina Mackey able to avoid a dangerous situation there and come back to her feet. And she's going to go ahead and take this first match by a score 10-6.
Seen a lot of improvement in Sabrina. She's just a freshman, but seen a lot of improvement this season with her. So it'll be fun to see how the years go by.
You talked a lot about her fight, and she definitely fought to the final whistle.
That she did. All right, up is 130 pounds. We have Asia Jongier. She's the junior, 22-4. She's a captain for the DCG team. Verse Perry's Charity Michaels. She is a senior, 21-4. These ladies have met each other. This is the third time they have come to wrestle each other. And it's ended up in Charity's favor, but in both matches. But as we can see, Asia's tough.
Well, I tell you what, in the heat of the moment here, I'm not sure where we would go if Asia or Charity here, but they definitely have some familiarity here between them. Both wrestlers very cautious. And boy, when we talk about your coaches talking about strength, you can just see the muscles here ripple on Asia.
Yeah.
Good double leg attempt by Asia Jongier. Perry's Charity Michaels able to get a couple of underhooks in and able to fight off that takedown attempt. Now, Jongier able to come around behind on the duck under, but Michaels able to lead her out of bounds and escape that danger position. Still 0-0 here with a minute left in the first period. Lots of action. Wrestlers are really moving well. Michaels here doing a good job controlling that left wrist of Asia. Asia now able to clear that wrist, now into a collar tie. Both wrestlers pummeling for inside position.
Give a shout out to Coach Lewis, the DCG's strength and conditioning coach. Asia's in the weight room a lot. She spends a lot of time in there, and he does really well for our athletes.
Beautiful shot attempt, beautiful counter by Perry's Charity Michaels, able to run her hips up into Asia to fend off that takedown attempt, able to score the first 2 points of this match. Temporarily had a one swipe on a potential near fall, but the referee, only one count, so no back points. Perry is going to take a 2-0 lead here into the second period. Perry's choice here. Charity feels strong in the top position. She elects to take top. Don't see a lot of wrestlers take top. preferring to try and get that 1-point escape. Charity feels she can turn Jongier. She's working a near wrist tilt, trying to stack up Jongier. She was temporarily able to get a 1 swipe there at the end of the first period. Now she switches off technique. She's got an arm bar and a 1-on-1. Jongier able to come to her feet now with a nifty little sit-out maneuver, able to make Michaels give up that arm bar. Michaels continuing to ride the arms, though, very aggressively. Now breaks Jongier back down to the mat, trying to reestablish that bar arm. Michaels needs to make a fist in the middle of Jongier's back and run that shoulder to the ear. Jongier able to get her hips out to the side. Michaels has got Jongier turned over. The referee has got 2 swipes, now 3 swipes. Referee indicates he got 5 swipes out of that, so that's 3-point near fall for Parody's Michaels. Only time will tell here where we end up this thing, but Jongier will have her choice here to start the third period. Michaels just running a relentless series of breakdowns here on top and is able to turn that into near fall points. Now she tries a near half. Both wrestlers near out of bounds.
Got 10 seconds left.
As long as one wrestler has 2 points of pressure inbounds, or each wrestler has 1 point in, the referee will not call them out of bounds. So in that particular case, Michaels had both of her knees inbounds, while Jongier had her body out of bounds, but that's technically still in the field of wrestling, still in play. First move by Charity Michaels, crosses those arms, clears the arm, hits a nice switch and a go behind, adding 2 points over Asia Jongier. See if Asia can get to her feet here. She tries to get an outside leg up. Michaels able to jump across those hips and hit a near side half. She has Jongier flattened out. Michaels able to draw a stalling call against Dallas Grimes' Asia Jongier. Asia needs to get her head up off the mat. Your body generally follows where your head is at. And if your head's on the mat, your body has time. Now it's a nice little sit-out attempt. Jongier able to get her hips free for a moment and face, but Michaels able to come back and get behind the elbows and return for no change in position. Inside a minute to go here in the third period, Perry leading 7-0. Michaels in now with another vicious armbar. She's got the 3-point near fall secured. Now she's working for the fall. She settles her position back. She's chest to chest. And there it is, the fall for Parody's Charity Michaels in 5 minutes and 29 seconds over Asia Jongier. I'll tell you what, Asia's got a lot of upside, but she ran into an experienced wrestler in Charity Michaels.
That she did. She did a good job, though. She fought hard. Right here we have Bella Mulder taking the forfeit for 135 pounds. She is also one of our captains. She works extremely hard for our team.
Mulder is a name that is synonymous with wrestling, both in Perry and Dallas Center. Grimes.
The next match is 140 pounds for Perry, Julie Malum.
All right, we have 140 pounds up. Julie Malum, she is a sophomore for Perry with a record of 32-11. She's going to go against DCG's junior Ella Forsyth, who is 4-5. Ella's Forsyth. She's very athletic. She just came out at week 3. She was a spectator at the first double duel we had with Spencer and Ankeny, and
Said I can do that.
she did. And she was sitting behind me, and I was like, Ella, you should. And she's like, I think I can. And I was like, I will get you what you need if you need me to. But she got her gear and is out here. So she's gotten a few pins. She's also a starting forward for the DCG girls undefeated soccer team.
That's 2 soccer players that we have out for wrestling. So good cross-sport training.
Yeah.
Perry's Julie Blue Malum is the daughter of Coach TJ Malum. So that's 2 daughters and 2 coaches on this team. Julie is a new wrestler, but obviously born into a family with some wrestling history, has really taken to the sport and had a lot of success. She was a tournament champion last Friday at the Perry Invitational Girls Tournament.
Yeah, and her younger sister, Joey Love, who's a 6th grader in Perry, she is also a very good wrestler. Saw her this weekend in action as well.
Both wrestlers doing a good job here, hand fighting, trying to keep position here in the middle of the mat. Inside of 30 seconds, Malum with an arm drag here. She's working what we like to call a 2-on-1 or a Russian tie for those that are familiar with the sport. Trying to gain an angle. Now with heavy hands, heavy snap down. That's the one thing I've noticed about the Perry wrestlers. They're very, very heavy-handed, very putting a lot of pressure on the Dallas Center Grimes ladies' heads. A shot on the end of the mat here. Malum doing her best to try and stay in bounds. 4 seconds left. Forsyth trying to do that. And just before the end of the period, Perry's Julie Malum able to secure the 2-point takedown, scoring 2 unanswered points right at the end of the period, leading 2-0 over Forsyth.
Julie's checking her hair. She knows she looks like a hot mess probably right now. I think that needs to do the new prom hairdo is the wrestling.
Yes, wrestling lady hair. That's it.
That's right. That's the in now, everybody.
Malum with the starting in the down position. Strong stand up and tremendously strong hips, able to put that leg down, secure the escape. Immediately transitioning into an arm tie here. Forsyth in with a nice crossbody high crotch, but Malum able to sprawl those hips out, able to come around behind for the 2-point takedown. She extends her lead now 5-0. She has Forsyth flattened out. See if Ella can get those knees back up underneath her. We like to call it army crawl. Army crawl back up. Get to your base so you can improve your position. Malum now controlling the wrist. She now sinks a deep half. She's got herself chest to chest. She's securing some back fall or some near fall. And just like that, she's able to squeeze it tight enough, secure the fall here in the second period. We've got that fall in 2 minutes and 56 seconds.
They both fought hard. I can't wait to see what Ella has, in the future. She'll just grow and grow and grow.
I really appreciated her fight in that particular match.
She's a competitor. She does not like to lose. We have 145-pound Allie Vandermolden, a sophomore, for DCG that's going to take the forfeit. And then up next is 155. For Perry, it's going to be Ava Devilbliss, who's a freshman with a record of 17-3 versus DCG's Mackenzie Sizemore. She's a senior, 21-8. She is a captain for our team.
Both wrestlers had a victory today against a common opponent, so we have a contrasting style here. We've got Sizemore with a lot of advantage in the reach and length department. Devilbliss is more compact. Again, Perry with that action to heavy hands on the head and hand fighting. Sizemore doing a good job to keep Devil Bliss at arm's length here. A sweep single attempt to the right leg. Sizemore's had a lot of success in her first match with that sprawl and go behind. She's got Devil Bliss flattened out. Devil Bliss trying to reestablish a lock on Sizemore's left leg. Sizemore doing a good job here, sprawling, trying to improve her position. Devil Bliss able to give up on that leg and get back to her feet before Sizemore could hit the go behind. So both wrestlers back in the neutral position, no score.
Rex and Mulder were on their feet for DCG, trying to demonstrate some good moves there.
Both wrestlers here trying to take ground in the middle of the mat. Sizemore doing a great job with wrist control here on Devil Bliss, really tying her up. It's like trying to walk through a raspberry patch when you're trying to get through those long arms. Nice little shot attempt there. Half shot by Sizemore.
We'll make sure our parents know that.
Yep, Mom and Dad, there was a half shot. Sizemore now doing a good job working the head, giving Devil Bliss a little bit of a taste of her own medicine there.
Coach
DCG
Jason
with the choice.
Coach Jason showing her what she needs to do.
Perry's choice. Dallas Center chooses deferred. Devil Bliss now taking the down position. We're going to start the period scoreless here, 0-0.
They're both putting in a good fight tonight.
Sizemore's been extremely effective with that long-armed half. Devil Bliss feels it coming in, and she wings down immediately to try and keep that half Nelson.
Sizemore saying, not today, you're getting up.
Really impressed with Sizemore's ability to ride here. She knows how to use her length. I had mentioned earlier in this match, or earlier in this meet, how wrestling has a style for every body type. And I think we have figured out that Mackenzie has really utilizing her length to her advantage when she's in that top position. Really, really cranking on the shoulder of Devil Bliss. You can see Devil Bliss kind of grasping that right shoulder, putting a tremendous amount of pressure. Referee is going to stop that action for potentially dangerous. We're on the restart here. Sizemore again using that length to blanket Devil Bliss. Again, relentless with that half Nelson. She's got Devil Bliss all twisted up in knots. She's close to getting a turn going. The referee's gotten one swipe. Devil Bliss just taking a beating here on top. That shoulder is in a really awkward position.
I don't know why I feel like if I move in the stands, I'm like helping them to do what they need to do.
That's your muscle memory kicking in. And again, the referee stops the action for potentially dangerous. Perry's Devil Bliss is going to feel it tomorrow morning on that shoulder when she wakes up. She's really getting cranked on. She is going to take recovery time. As we mentioned earlier, that's 1 minute and 30 seconds that they get to use.
Jared's out there giving her some attention, seeing what's going on.
I'd like to thank my dear friend Jill Shawn for inviting me to come talk here or to announce tonight. She recently had a birthday, so if you happen to see her, wish her happy birthday.
Yes, happy birthday, Jill. Happy 29th. You're looking good.
Her husband, Steve, is often referred to as a national treasure.
By Jill or by everyone?
By everyone. And so consequently, they just make the best couple. So
They have really nice kids, too.
yes. KK, Ron, and Addison. Is Kieran back in college?
He is. He's back in Iowa City.
Little break in the action here, 33 seconds left. Devil Bliss really feeling the pain in that shoulder. Looks like we're not going to continue the action, and we're going to have a medical forfeit injury. So Dallas Center Grimes is Mackenzie.
Mackenzie Sizemore.
Yep. She's going to add 6 points to the scoreboard here and finish her night undefeated.
That's good for her senior night, I would say.
Going out strong.
That broke the tie. I hope Devil Bliss's shoulder can recover, especially regionals coming up.
Our next match is at 170 pounds. The winner by forfeit for Dallas Center Grimes, Maya Fritz.
170 pounds for DCG. Maya Fritz will take the forfeit. She is a senior.
We saw her get a pin earlier tonight. I was very impressed with her takedown abilities.
The winner by forfeit for Dallas Center Grimes, Hallie Bodette.
DCG's 190-pounder, Hallie Bodette, will take the forfeit.
The Bodette cheering section is very well represented tonight.
We come loud and proud. We may not know what we're talking about half the time, but we're loud and proud.
Fake it till you make it. That's a good motto.
It's my motto for life.
Both Perry and Osceola with several holes in their lineup. I know Perry's been hit by the injury bug pretty hard, and there's a couple of girls. I think there were 3 girls that went home sick from school today.
Yeah.
Talking with Coach Josh Moore. So Perry's Haley Peterson going to stay at 106 pounds or 100 pounds tonight and accept the forfeit.
This is Leah Newell for 105 pounds. For DCG, she will take the forfeit.
She'll finish her night undefeated. She had a fall in her first match. We should have some contested action here now.
This is 110 pounds, Gracie Waggy. She's a senior, well, also one of our captains. She has improved tremendously from last year to this year. It's a bummer you didn't get to see her wrestle. She's a fighter.
Our next match is at 115 pounds for Perry, Taylor Atwell. And for Dallas Center Grimes.
All right, we have 115 pounds up. For Perry, it's Taylor Atwell. She's a senior, 28-11. And for DCG is Josephine Bond. She's a sophomore, 13-12.
Just underway here, and both wrestlers immediately to the wrist ties. Josephine with what we like to call a love tap, you know, a little pat on the head of Taylor Atwell, see if she can't create some space or some angles. Atwell with a hard snap down, able to snap Josephine all the way down to the mat. She needs to get her elbow unburied. Her elbow is a little deep here. If she can pull her elbow out and get behind, she'll score the 2-point takedown. Josephine able to reach for that leg. Atwell in position here, though, able to change directions, come around the other side for the 2-point takedown. Atwell trying to stretch out Josephine's arms. Atwell is, as we talked in her first match, a big fan of the cradle, and she's got her crossface working here. She's trying to take that head. Josephine Bond very smartly able to straighten out and keep from getting into that cradle, transitions into a stand-up. Nice return by Taylor Atwell. Now Taylor tries another cradle, this time the near side cradle. She has it locked up. If she can take Josephine backwards heel, she'll score some near fall. We're down to 16 seconds. Atwell's going to have to hurry if she wants to do it. She needs to knock Josephine off her hips. Josephine does a nice job not panicking in that situation. She fights the hand. She's able to break free. We're going to end this period with Atwell up 2-0 over Bond. Referee looks at Bond. It's her choice. She gets direction from the bench. She defers. Atwell says, I like making those takedowns. Let's try it again. She's going to choose both wrestlers up. Neutral position. Both wrestlers would be well suited to get their opponent moving their feet a little bit, create some angles. Now we see those wrestlers moving a little bit. Atwell's got that nearby right arm of Josephine extended out. Now Atwell works to the left side. Tried a 2-on-1 on that side. Bond doing a good job keeping her head and hands in the way of Atwell. This is where Atwell worked a snap down successfully in that first period, where Josephine was very concerned about Atwell's shot and worried about fending it off. We're a minute through the second period, no score. Both wrestlers. There's a snap attempt here by Taylor Atwell. Bond able to fend that off with ease. Nice little takedown attempt there by Bond, but Atwell able to counter with wrist control, able to shuck Josephine Bond by, able to get the 2 points. Now Bond able to come around basically the back door, so to speak, able to reach down, try to get Atwell's ankles. Atwell turns in a precarious position, putting her knees in a potentially dangerous, and the ref stops that action before anybody could get hurt. She really twisted herself there, didn't she?
She did. It was like a pretzel. Sometimes you look at their moves, not particular in this situation, but you have to try to figure out whose leg is who.
Yeah.
Especially if they're wearing similar color singlets.
And shoes. Now a Turk action. Haven't seen that yet tonight. Atwell's going to want to elevate that leg and try to reach for the far shoulder. She's going to post that arm forward. If she can get Bond on her hip, she's got a chance to score some near fall. But Bond does a nice job keeping her belly button on the mat, not giving up any near fall. Bond's choice. She looks at the coaches. Coaches suggest she takes top, and that's what she's going to choose. So we'll see if Bond can get a turn. Tight match here, 4-0 in favor of Perry's Taylor Atwell.
I'd say Josephine's doing a good job of holding her own. Taylor's very experienced and always has been a experienced wrestler, so she's doing a good job too.
You had mentioned her family ties and the experience levels, and you're exactly right. I'm seeing a lot of fight here out of Josephine Bond and a lot of good, solid position. She's not getting paid off on the scoreboard, but she's certainly impressing me with her ability to always be in the match. Atwell with a 2-point reversal. She's now got Bond flattened out. 1:26 left to go here in the third period. Josephine's going to need to work to a base here or run the risk of maybe getting a stalling call here from the ref. She does. She's able to get to her base position. She needs to keep her head up. Atwell sees that her head's down. She tries to bury a half Nelson here on the right side. Bond able to clamp that right elbow down and keep Atwell from making the turn. Atwell with a parallel right here, so not much risk here of getting a turn. Now she runs across face.
Getting a lot of direction from both benches from the coaches.
The referee stops the action and calls a stall call on Perry's Atwell. Again, we talked about that parallel ride. The referee wants to see you work for a turn, and if you run from a parallel position, it's really hard to turn your wrestler that's on the bottom. Nice stand-up attempt here by Josephine Bond. Not enough reaction time. Atwell immediately dives back in on the ankle. She's got a leg lace, which would be fantastic in freestyle, but this is folk style wrestling, so not going to score much with that. She gives it up.
About 17 seconds left. See what can happen.
Atwell's going to be content here to finish out the period. And, you know, a really tight, well-wrestled match by both wrestlers. Now we have that Turk position. Atwell able to elevate that near leg and able to grab that far wrist, and she's going to end the match with a 3-point near fall. She's going to make that score now 9-0. And not that the team score is particularly close, but if it were, turning a 3-point victory into a 4-point victory could pay some dividends. I like to see Taylor go for that score late in the match. Excellent match by Dallas Center Grimes, Josephine Bond. She's a scrapper.
Yeah, definitely. She doesn't give up. She just keeps going to the very end.
Our next match is at 120 pounds. Preparing
And Taylor did a great job.
and for Dallas Center Grimes, Abby Osborne.
So right now we have 125 pounds up. For Perry is Yamalat Gonzalez. She's a freshman. 10-3 is her record. For DCG, we have Abby Osborne. She is a senior with 3-7. She's a senior leader. She is also part of the varsity softball team.
Both wrestlers feeling each other out here in the first 30 seconds of the match. Gonzalez trying to work that inside tie. Again, Perry with that 2-on-1 motion here, trying to control the wrist and elbow of the opponent. Try to create an angle for a shot. Now both wrestlers in a collar tie. Perry trying to snap down. Gonzalez trying to snap Osborne down. Osborne doing a nice job keeping her feet and her hips underneath her. Now Gonzalez with a dive double leg, really kind of bad position, but super quick reflexes there by Osborne. Do you see her that how quick that sprawl was?
Yeah. Abby Osborne and Bella Mulder are basically the ones that had the idea to start a girls wrestling team last year.
Well, there you go. That the genesis of a great idea.
Yep.
Gonzalez again with a second shot there on the edge. In high school wrestling, new rules. If you basically don't make an attempt to get back to the center of the mat, you'll garner a stalling call. And that's what Perry's Gonzalez was able to get on Osborne by taking those shots. Forced Osborne here to take a shot. Now Gonzalez trying to stuff the head and come behind. Osborne doing her best to hold on to that leg and not give up the takedown. Gonzalez trying to crossface. Now Osborne reaches to try and get a lock on that. Gonzalez stretches that leg out. Osborne perhaps needs, grab a leg now. Gonzalez trying to continue to go to the same direction. Not able to come behind, but she keeps that front head. And that's how we're going to end the first period scoreless. Lots of action, flurry of action in that last 30 seconds.
Yeah.
No score. Osborne starts on top. Gonzalez with a quick stand-up and a turn-in, facing for the 1 point. You see how she was able to break contact with Osborne and face her completely?
Yeah.
That's the criteria for the escape. Now a headlock attempt here by Gonzalez and a beautiful roll-through by Osborne. Now we're in a scramble situation. Gonzalez trying to settle back, and she is able to settle back. She's got Osborne in a precarious position. Gonzalez going to score the takedown and some near fall here. Osborne able, though, to battle back to her belly button and only give up the 3 near fall points. Perry with a 6-0 lead now on the strength of an escape, a takedown, and 3 near fall. Gonzalez now with a butcher position here. She's got both of Osborne's arms tied up, and she's able to come around front and put Osborne right back on her back position again. It's tight. And like that, the referee calls the fall. A flurry of activity in favor of Perry's Gonzalez. Going to score the fall in 3 minutes and 2 seconds.
That was kind of crazy with all the rolling. You didn't know who was going to be the one in
That position
control.
was up for grabs. You're
Yeah.
exactly right.
that ends our duel with Perry. The final score is DCG 48, Perry 22.
Well, I want to thank everyone for having me, and it was enjoyable calling this with you tonight.
I did enjoy it. Thanks for all the knowledge.
It's a repository of useless knowledge. So.
Well, it came in handy, especially tonight it did.
Well, shout out to everybody watching from home. Come out and support your Mustangs, men and women teams. We're nearing the final stretch of the season, and they could use your support.
Their next meet is supposed to be Thursday in Pella. Both boys and girls are there.
Wonderful.
So
we'll see you all in Pella.
Yeah, all right.